Coronation Street's Theo Silverton tightens his grip on Todd Grimshaw next week, just as Todd discovers that his boyfriend has a violent past. The worrying revelations are shared by a social worker, leaving Todd to question whether he can really trust the new man in his life. Theo is taken away by the police, explains our Corey insider. It's all perfectly innocent but serves to open a big can of worms. Soon, Todd is learning some very worrying things about his fella's shady history. The show's latest scenes see Theo continue to hold control over Todd. Theo has been taking his frustrations out on his other half, becoming needy and demanding whenever Todd's focus turns elsewhere. Next week alone sees him take Todd home early from Dev Allahan's stag night where Todd is having fun, then later storms off to the pub when Todd plans an evening with Summer Spellman. The pair put on a united front as a meeting looms with social services over access to Theo's kids. Yet as Theo is heading there, he comes across a drunken Audie, and as Theo tries to help him, Audie falls and bangs his head. Later, Theo's shocked when the police announce they want to question him over what happened. While Todd waits with the social worker, Billy reveals he's seen Theo heading off with the police, reveals our insider. The social worker's ears then prick up, and that's when he explains to shocked Todd that Theo has a previous history of violence. Todd is totally blindsided by the new information and wants to find out more. What will Theo's dodgy past mean for his future with Todd? Coronation Street. Theo's past comes back to haunt him, and Todd is caught in the crossfire. It's a week of revelation, heartbreak, and hard choices on Coronation Street, as Todd Grimshaw's relationship with the charming but increasingly erratic Theo Silverton takes a dark turn. What began as a passionate romance is now threatened by secrets, suspicion, and a disturbing encounter with the past that could change everything Todd thought he knew about the man he's fallen for. Next week, viewers will watch the slow unraveling of Theo's carefully constructed image as a supportive, misunderstood father trying to rebuild his life. But beneath the surface lies a troubling past, and a temper that's about to come to light in the most unexpected way. The calm before the storm. At first glance, everything seems to be going well between Todd and Theo. They've been growing closer, bonding over shared experiences and hopes for the future. Todd, still healing from the emotional scars left by his previous relationships, is finally allowing himself to believe in love again. Theo, with his quiet confidence and heartfelt charm, appears to be the stable partner Todd has longed for. But cracks have started to show. Theo's behavior has become increasingly possessive in recent weeks. Subtle at first, disguised as attentiveness or concern, it has slowly morphed into emotional manipulation. He gets jealous when Todd spends time with others, especially with close friends like Summer Spellman or anyone connected to Billy Mayhew, Todd's ex. He's showing signs of being deeply insecure, one set insider reveals. Theo has this need to control the situation, and when things don't go his way, he lashes out, not always physically, but emotionally and verbally. Next week, things take a more intense turn when Theo unexpectedly shows up at Dev Allahan's stag night. Todd is enjoying himself, relaxing and reconnecting with friends, but Theo's arrival changes the mood. He insists Todd leave the party early, sulking and playing the victim when Todd resists. Though Todd gives in to keep the peace, the incident leaves him shaken. Later in the week, when Todd tries to make plans with Summer for a quiet evening catch-up, Theo once again reacts badly. Feeling pushed aside, he storms off to the pub, leaving Todd confused and emotionally drained. Trouble on the horizon. Despite these worrying signs, Todd continues to give Theo the benefit of the doubt, until an unexpected incident pulls the rug out from under him. The couple are preparing for a significant meeting with social services. Theo is fighting for access to his children and wants to prove he's turned his life around. Todd has agreed to support him, hoping their united front will make a good impression. It's a big step in their relationship, but one Todd takes seriously. As Theo heads toward the meeting, fate intervenes. On his way there, he stumbles upon a drunken Audie Allahan, who appears to be in a bad state. Trying to be a good Samaritan, Theo attempts to help, but things go horribly wrong when Audie slips, falls, and bangs his head. Witnesses at the scene call for help, and the police soon arrive. While the accident appears minor at first, the sight of Theo with the injured teen raises red flags. Even though Theo insists he was only trying to help, the police decide they want to question him further, says our Corey source. And that's when the situation starts spiraling. Secrets revealed. Back at the community center, Todd waits for Theo to arrive for the social services meeting. As minutes turn into an hour, concern grows. Billy, ever watchful, informs Todd that he saw Theo being taken away by the police. It's an alarming piece of news, but the real blow comes moments later. The social worker, who had been sitting quietly during the wait, perks up when Billy mentions the arrest, says our insider. He then calmly tells Todd that Theo has a history of violence. It's not public knowledge, but it's enough to impact custody cases. And now it's come back to bite him. For Todd, it's a devastating revelation. Everything he thought he knew about Theo is suddenly in question. The man he was planning a future with, the man he trusted to co-parent, to love, to rebuild his life, may not be who he says he is. In a state of shock, Todd begins to piece together the red flags he had ignored. The controlling behavior, the overreactions, the emotional blackmail. With this new information, it all starts to make a disturbing kind of sense. A past he couldn't escape. So what exactly is Theo hiding? While Coronation Street producers are keeping the full details of Theo's past under wraps for now, sources close to the show confirm that his record isn't just a minor blip. There's more than one incident, the insider explains. It wasn't just a bar fight or something that got out of hand. There's a pattern of aggression, especially when Theo feels threatened or out of control. It's part of why he lost access to his children in the first place. Though Theo has tried to keep his past buried, his name is flagged in social services records. Now that the police are involved again, even if the incident with Audie turns out to be innocent, the renewed scrutiny could bring everything to light. And if that happens, Todd will have to make a tough decision. Todd's crisis of faith. In the coming episodes, viewers will see Todd go on an emotional journey. Angry and betrayed, he confronts Theo about the truth. But Theo, rather than take responsibility, tries to spin the situation, blaming his past on difficult circumstances and painting himself as a victim of misunderstanding. He begs Todd to believe him, says the source. And for a moment, Todd considers it. Because he wants to believe it. He wants to believe that people can change. But even as Theo pleads his case, his behavior continues to raise red flags. He pressures Todd not to speak to social services about the new incident. He becomes increasingly erratic, watching Todd's every move and accusing him of betrayal whenever he tries to talk things through with friends. For Todd, it's a wake-up call. He starts to realize that love alone isn't enough, not when trust has been broken and fear begins to creep in. A dangerous path forward. As the week draws to a close, Coronation Street teases a tense confrontation between Todd and Theo. After a particularly volatile argument, Todd seeks refuge with Billy, who remains worried for Todd's safety and emotional well-being. Billy still cares for Todd deeply, says our source. And though their romantic relationship is over, he'll always have Todd's back. He warns him not to get in too deep, and Todd begins to listen. The question now is whether Todd can walk away before things get worse. Because for all of Theo's pleas, his behavior is escalating. And as Todd digs deeper into his boyfriend's past, he begins to uncover stories from Theo's former partners, stories of possessiveness, isolation, and fear. Viewers can expect emotionally charged scenes, full of heartbreak, tension, and the kind of moral dilemmas that Coronation Street is known for. Todd is faced with a difficult truth. That sometimes, even when you love someone, you have to put your own safety, and your future, first. What's next for Theo and Todd? While ITV has yet to confirm the long-term fate of Theo Silverton, backstage whispers suggest his storyline is heading toward a dramatic conclusion. Whether he leaves the cobbles in handcuffs or under a cloud of shame remains to be seen. As for Todd, this chapter may mark a turning point in his personal growth. After years of questionable decisions and complicated romances, he's finally being forced to confront what kind of love he truly deserves, and what he'll no longer accept. Expect Todd to reclaim his strength, says our insider. This isn't just a love story gone wrong. It's a survival story. And by the end of it, Todd will be stronger, wiser, and ready for a new beginning.